Hello scientists, my name is Jenna and I am an educator performer at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science on our new Museum on Wheels experience called the Curiosity Cruiser. Now we're all practicing social distancing right now, so I'm doing my science from home and I'd love for you to join me. Today I'm doing a lemon dissection, so if you would like to join along, the things that you're going to need are some washed hands because we were working with food and you're welcome to eat it afterwards, a lemon, a butter knife, a cutting board, and then parental supervision. Feel free to pause the video, to rewind as much as you need to follow along. Now would be a great time to pause it, gather your stuff, and then meet me back here for the dissection. Okay, so the word dissection, it means to cut something open and to look at it scientifically, to see what's inside. You might have done a dissection before. Maybe you've even dissected a lemon before. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at it in a scientific way before we use it as food. So before we cut it open even, what we're going to do is we're going to make some observations. We're going to notice some things about it. And we can do that using our 5 senses. I'm not going to use my sense of taste just yet, but I can use my other ones. I can use my sense of hearing. Yeah, I don't really hear much of anything. I can use my sense of smell. It's not that strong of a smell. I can use my sense of feeling, right? Touch. So I notice that mine's kind of squishy. I notice that it's bumpy in some places and smooth in others. I'm also using my sense of sight to notice that it's yellow. I can see and feel this bump on this end. I can feel this bump. You might have this bump, it might not be there. Lemons are different. Sometimes this gets taken off before you get the lemon. And this is called the pedicel. And that's where our lemon was attached to the tree because it grew from a tree. So it hung like this, and that stem part was the pedicel. You might just have a hole there. That's totally fine too. And that's where the pedicel was. On this other side, this is called our apex, and that just means it's the end of our lemon. So that's the bottom of it. Hanging down there, okay? And then like I said, we have this yellow part on mine. I also have lots of like bumps and bruises on mine, some like scratches and stuff that are a little bit brownish. And I notice like lots and lots of little dots if I look really closely. And I'm gonna smell it one more time just to see if it smells the same everywhere. Yeah, it's not that strong, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off a piece of that skin, okay? And the skin as a whole is called the pericarp, but we're gonna cut off what's called the exocarp, which is the outside skin. So you're gonna take your butter knife, you're gonna try to use that serrated part because again, it's a butter knife and we're gonna try to cut through a lemon. And you're gonna saw at it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna cut down the middle, I'm just gonna cut off a piece of that exocarp, that skin. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. It's definitely a challenge cutting like this, so go ahead and pause it and then play again when you've got your piece. Now mine's not that big. It's okay if yours is bigger, it's okay if yours is smaller. This is your dissection. But what I'm going to do now with this piece is I'm going to fold it in half like this. And then I'm going to hold it, but I'm not going to press too hard just yet. And I'm going to put it up to the light and I'm going to squeeze it and see if I can see anything coming out of those little dots. Oh my goodness, yeah, I can. And I can smell it too. And my fingers are a little wet as well. So what's happening is in those dots, which are called glands, they hold oil. And the oil is super important for our lemon because just like when we get scratches and cuts on our body, we get scabs to help heal us. The oil helps heal the lemon. So all these scratches that are on my lemon, the oil helped to heal it, okay? And it has that really strong lemony scent to it, okay? So when you burst them open, you can smell it really strongly, which is so different than the rest of my lemon that I can't smell that strongly. Okay, so we have this exocarp, which is the yellow part on the outside, but I even cut into the mesocarp a little bit, and that's that white stuff that we're seeing right here. So we're gonna see some more of those layers when we cut open in just a moment. But before we do, I wanna take a sec to think about what do we think's inside? What's going on inside our lemon? Do we have any predictions about what might be inside? Maybe you've seen the inside of a lemon, maybe you haven't. Now is a great time to think, okay, what are my guesses? Okay, so once you have a guess, go ahead and you're going to put your pedicel on one side, your apex on the other. You're going to hold it carefully, and then you're going to cut straight down the center of the lemon. Now, feel free to pause the video if it's taking a little while. It's definitely a challenge. So, yeah, okay. Now, inside my lemon, I'm going to go ahead and see what I notice. We're going to start making observations again. I see that I have seeds inside my lemon, and the seeds are really, really important. Before you take the seeds out, which you're more than welcome to do, what I want you to notice is, where are the seeds? Now, they might have moved while you were cutting, but I noticed that a lot of my seeds are towards the center of my lemon, not towards the exocarp and mesocarp on the outside. They're towards the center. And that's because they're actually attached to the very, very center of my lemon, called the placenta. And the reason why they're attached is because that's where they get their nutrients from. Same as a baby growing in the womb, they get their nutrients from a placenta. Our seeds get nutrients from the placenta inside the lemon. And the seeds are really important because that's where all of the genetic DNA is held, and that's where we get more lemons. So go ahead, save your seeds on the side, and as you continue to cut through your lemon, and you can see if you can grow a lemon tree at home. This is a perfect time because we are all home for a while now. So just a little bit of soil, a pot, some water, and some sunshine. See what happens, okay? So I've taken out some seeds. The other thing that I noticed is that they were in these like triangles, okay? And those triangles, let's see how many you have. So go ahead and count your triangles. I have 10 triangles, okay? And each one of those is called a segment. So I have 10 segments in my lemon. Usually the number ranges somewhere between 8 or 12, and it's just genetic variation. It doesn't really make a difference, but it's interesting to see how many segments each of us has. Okay, so I have 10, and then what's separating all those segments, these like flimsy pieces in between, are called walls. Okay, so we have our segments, we have our walls, and let's go ahead and cut into one of those segments. So right now I'm going to be cutting through the exocarp, that yellow rind, the mesocarp, also known as the albedo, that white part, and then I'm cutting into the endocarp, which is the inside of our lemon, okay? So I'm going to cut in, make sure you're being safe. Oh, I'm getting juice everywhere. Is anyone else finding that they're getting juice everywhere or liquid? Yeah, that's because inside our lemon are these vesicles, and that's what I'm going to see if I can cut out, is just a single vesicle. They're these little sacs. Ooh, yeah, this is a challenge to cut. They're these little sacs that hold some of the that hold juice as well as oil. So that's why it smells like the outside when we pushed this and we got some of that oil out. There's even oil inside. So go ahead and see if you can cut out a segment. It's definitely tricky to do. And then see if you can look closely at what's inside those segments. And there's all these different little sacs, these vesicles that hold the juice and the oil in them. And that's what we often squeeze onto food or squeeze into a cup of tea, or however you're using your lemon. Okay, and those I think are pretty cool because you can kind of crush them and see what's going on there. So that's all I'm doing with my dissection today. I am going to use my lemon in my food later. I can make a cup of tea, squeeze some of that in, put it on my lunch or my dinner. So I'm going to keep this and see what I'm going to do next. I'm going to keep my seeds to maybe grow a tree. So that is it for our dissection. Thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to tag us in whatever you're doing, the science that you're doing at home, with the hashtag DMNS Science Party on social media. And if you're on Twitter, please tweet at us what you're doing at Denver Museum NS. We'd love to see what's going on, and we'll keep our videos coming too. Thanks.